All right, welcome back. I was actually going to tackle terrain next. The thing is, terrain is a grid, and we're going to need a lot of grids. So next up is actually some abstraction. I hope it's not too premature, but we're going to need grids, and it makes sense to maybe implement the term buffer in terms of being a grid as well. So I'm going to make a util.rs here. Because, well, this is something I have a habit of doing often. And I'm going to make, people are screaming in the background, grid t, and the data in the grid is just a vec of t. It also has a width, and I'm going to define these as I32s because we're going to be doing a lot of stuff in terms of signed integers. Like if you want the coordinates for a guy, that's you want to be able to subtract there easily and things like that. So I'm going to make a coord here as well. It's going to have an x and y that are I32s. All right, so what does a grid need? Well, we want to be able to make a new grid that's just filled with default elements. Where we want to just fill the grid with that. So I'm going to make a new thing where it's this, and we can make, let's say, new default. Let's call it that. It's not quite the same as new because it is specifically with default. And then, yeah, I'm going to just go, let's see. So we want the height, and then the data is a vec of t default and width times height as a usize. Ooh, oh, oops. And that needs to actually return a grid t. Soup? What are you complaining about? Oh, it's just dead. Okay, that's fine. This will be alive soon enough. All right. So the stuff that doesn't need to be that. Let's think. What do we need to do to with the term buffer? Well, we need to be able to access stuff. That's important. We need to be able to get like what is in a cell. Um, the idea here is that the term buffer is going to have basically just a grid of cells. That's the idea here. Where the cell has the foreground, background, and character code. So we need to be able to. Well, you know what we could do? We could do get. That's a thing, and we're gonna do it in terms of chords. So let's say pos chord, and that gets you a reference to a t. Uh, right. So in order to figure out where we are in the grid, that's y times the width plus x is our index. We're gonna need that for some other stuff too. So I am gonna go and make a function for that. Doesn't need to be public because we're just gonna use it in here. Pos chord, and that returns a usize that lets us index into this. So what did I say it was? Actually, it's not, it's probably an option, isn't it? Because we do want to do bounds checking. Because that is actually if we, oops, fill this in with it to do. Fun feature of the current build of the game. Shoot. Also needs to have it to do. A fun feature of the current part of the game is okay. So we can move our guy around, but there's some interesting things that happen. Say if we move all the way to the right, uh, we pop out there because that's the next index. If we move all the way to the bottom, the game crashes because we're indexing out of bounds. So we do want to do some bounds checking. So let's check here and say we could do an if statement here. We could also use and then. That's maybe cuter, so we'll use that. So we'll construct our boolean here. So pos.x needs to be greater than or equal to 0. It also needs to be less than our width. And same for the y, greater than or equal to 0 and less than our height. We can do and then, I think it is. Or is it then sum? No, then. That's the one we want. And I said that the coordinate was y times self.width plus x as a u size. So if I, oops, no, pos.y plus pos.x as a u size. So this will get us, like, if we're actually asking for 5, 0, it'll return 5. If we've got a 4x4 grid and we're asking for 4, 1, it'll return, what's that, 4 plus 4. So that should be pretty good. So then we can say our get in terms of this, and this is also returning an option. Let's say we can do array access things afterwards to make it not that. We want we want the self.index of the position, and map that to data, or self.data index. Oops. Nope, what am I doing wrong here? Oh, let me see. There we go. And we need the corresponding mutable version as well here. Because we are going to want to be able to, access and modify stuff as well. Oops, needs to be mutable. There we go. It'd also be nice to be able to, access stuff like, so you can go grid pos, so like with this. So this is called, shoot, what is it called? It's index. Index? Yeah. And this is going to complain because I am forgetting the bunch of stuff. Well, it needs to be that, and there we go, and there we go. Output is a T. Oop. Do I need lifetime parameters for this? I guess we do. Interesting. Oh, is it? No, it's comma. What are you complaining about? Actually, we can do bacon. Bacon knows this. Ah, yes. Okay. Oh, yes. Okay, we need to, the index needs to have this as well. We're indexing over a coordinate. What are you complaining about? Yeah, let's see. Oh. I think this is acceptable. Nope. Why do you, well. It's unconstrained. Why is it unconstrained? It's right there. Okay, so in any case, what this should be is self.get, let's rename this to pos.unwrap. Oh, wait. Is that how it did it look like? Oh, fuck you. Okay. Oops. Oh, okay. We don't need lifetime parameters. Okay. And let's do next mute chord or grid T. Actually, does that even have a? Does not have that, I think. No, it does. That doesn't make sense. Could those be different? So, okay. Ow. It's hurting. Okay. But unwrap. So that'll let us get stuff. The other thing that we want to be able to do here is iterate over these things. So we want to be able to do for pos cell in buffer. That'd be really convenient. So I'm gonna do a what is that called? Well, we need to do implement iterator, but we need an iterator type as well. I mean, yeah, we need an iterator type. That's the only convenient way to do this, I think. So let's do grid iter. Oops. Struct grid iter. Pos is a chord, and data is a reference to the grid T. And now we're going to need some lifetime things. That seems okay. Iterator for grid iter. And again, we're going to need some things here, some generics. And what is the, okay, so type item is a T. Actually, is it a reference to, no, it's a reference to a T. There we go. Okay, so what is the iterator doing? Let's, return value is going to be self, let's not call it data, that's a bit confusing. Let's call it just grid. Self.grid.get self.pos. And then we can return that. Why are you... Ooh, whoops, score does not copy. We need to make this clone. Let's do debug. Oh, let's do acting partial ect2 while we're at it. You know, standard pod stuff. Okay, and then we need to do... We'll increment the x. We're going down in rows, basically. If self.pos.x is greater than or equal to. Really, it's equal to. That's the only possible thing here, but you know, it's self. It's good to be sure. With then we self.pos.y plus equals 1. Self.pos.x is set to 0. So that'll get us through the grid. Oops, don't need those parentheses. Yeah, so that'll go take a step to the right. If we're all the way to the right, we'll take a step down. Okay, cool. This is like everything that we need, I think. So we can go over to our term buffer now and see that we don't need, like, we're duplicating that same logic here. So what we can instead do is, I think you write it as type. Pub type term buffer is equal to a grid of cell. And I'm going to do struct cell. That's going to have a character, which is a U8, foreground, that's a color, and a background, that is a color. And of course we need to include the grid type. Whoops, why is grid not available? Use create util grid. Did I make it private? Yeah, I did. Whoops. Let's go back to util. How silly of me. Special. Are these public enough? Yeah. Let's go back here. Okay. We're getting rid of this. Okay, so we don't need to be able to construct a new this way. We do want to be able to do a default here. So let's also we can make this debug. I'm gonna do a manual default. Since I think by default we want white on black. So let's do give me those missing members. Cell, and then the character is 0, which is a space basically, and then the foreground is. Oh, I haven't done color constants here. Oh, have I? I have. Okay. And then background is color black. Okay. We don't need this anymore. Ooh, clear function. That would also be nice to have. Let's make it a, we could do a clear default. That'd be cute. And what that'll do is, for or item, let's call it that for item, and what is T defaults? There might be a vector method for this. I'm not sure. I'm not going to look it up now. All right. This will have broken a bunch of stuff. That's good. So, loud motorboat. All right. Let's see. In main. Oh, did I? Let's put this. I put the, why can't you find that? Oh yeah, it just needed to refresh the file. Okay. Okay, so this is instead new defaults. Term width and term height. Maybe it's a bit unclean to have these in the in here, but that's fine. I can deal with that later. This is clear default now instead. I'll just fill it with the empty things. And this is the nice part. So instead of having to do these nested iterators, we can do for pos cell in self.termBuffer. Right? Oh, no, we do need to do the into iterator as well, actually. So, forgot about that. Let's see, implement into iterator for grid T. Oh, come on, get out of here. Let's see, item is a pair of. Ooh, I'm not doing that right actually either, am I? So let's see, where's the iterator? The item is not this. The item is a tuple of a coordinate in that because we want the position and the thing. So map the item with there we go. That'll do it. Okay. What kind of iterator? It's grid iterator. See, is that valid? Oh, no. And okay, we're gonna need some lifetime parameters as well. Yeah, there we go. That's, I think, happy-ish. All right, let's Ooh, okay, that's a thing. It's actually we need to implement for at grid T, or not at, and grid T, like that. There we go. Uh, self. It's the grid is self, and the os is. This is one I haven't done yet. Okay, we do want that constant, so implement chord. And we could make the constant. Oh, let's make a new function here as well. This needs to be public, doesn't it? And we want to be able to access these as well. Okay, let's see. On step in new x I32 y I32 returns a chord. Now matches the chord of x and y. Now we can do pub const 0 is chord u 0 0. There we go. Where was I? So it's happy now. Did I finish it? We'll find out. Okay, so we can now do that, and let's copy over this stuff. So that's all going to be happening here now instead. And okay, so we don't need to figure out the index anymore. We can do cell character character. Oh, these are not public types again, aren't they? Cell. Yep. Pub. 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 Character. Okay. That's fine. It's pos.x and pos.y. I mean, there could be a cute idea here to, instead of having chord be a struct, we could make it a tuple, and then we could have just done like for xy cell. But I think having it as a struct probably makes more sense. It'll be less confusing for you guys as well. Cell.foreground. Not that I've been making, I'm implementing iterators and stuff. It's maybe a bit confusing no matter what. All right. Okay, cool. That works. There's another game is still going to be broken. So we're accessing it there. Yeah, so put car is dead. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and make a constructor for this as well. Oh, I already did. Okay. Why did I do this? Okay. Okay. Term dot get moot. Actually, let's do, instead of player x, we'll do player pos is a chord. Oops, gotta include it. Or import it, whatever it's called in Rust. X. Y. There we go. So instead of that, we'll do get moot self.player pos. Actually, I suppose what we could do here, we could do an unwrap here as well. What might be better is to do if let some cell is term.get moot self.player pos. Then we'll do cell is new cell where we do vector is foreground is, why is it unhappy? Oh, yeah, there we go. Foreground is what do I do? White? Well, let's do red. And the background can be, well, let's do blue background on the character just to make it look nice. And if I am right now, well, that we don't need that anymore. Is there anything else? Save me bacon. Oh shoot. Okay. Until what did I do wrong? Grid editor is private. Make that public. We happy now? Yes. So if I run the game now, well, okay, we're now red on blue, so we know that that works. And if we go off screen, we just go off screen. That works for the bottom. We've kind of lost our lose condition now, so maybe this is one step forward, one step back, or two steps forward, one step back. But we now can draw without it breaking. All right, so next up is some terrain, so we'll have something interesting to walk around. That is all for now. Thank you guys for watching. I hope this is helpful or interesting. Please send me comments or anything like that if you have questions, concerns, whatever. Ciao.